Welcome to Club Damingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
I'm fine. How are you? I said don't press record.
Oh, I thought you said press record. No, what are you doing?
No.
That's okay. That's okay.
No. I'm looking for. I'm looking for something I should have looked for earlier, and I didn't.
That's okay. That's okay.
There it is. No worries.
Homework is not our raison d'etre. Is that what you say? He's not our maison plus. He's not our horses d'or. It's not our soup of the day.
Yeah. It's almost it. I don't know. I've got there. It is. I've got something to chat with. Shall we start with this? Because I've got it now.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Hi, Tim.
Hello, Gary. Good morning.
I'll edit all that out. No, I
won't. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh.
So it's been a busy week, hasn't it? Lots happening.
Yeah. Has it?
Yeah.
Everything that we just chatted about. Yeah. So hopefully there's no noise here. I've got the painters in. Not a euphemism. Not the euphemism.
It's like you've got the pool cleaner in. Oh yeah.
Now we talked about that euphemism on a very early episode, didn't we? What it means to have the painters in. Have you forgotten?
I probably have. Wouldn't put it apart. Explain again what that means.
Oh, I'm not explaining it.
Explain it to the kiddies.
I've got the wrong body parts to explain what that is.
But that's okay. We can talk about adult things because none of the kiddies under 16 will have social media access anymore.
That's true.
In Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. How's that going to work?
How's that going to work?
At all.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes. I can imagine many households when the clock ticks over midnight, all these wailing from the kids crying, going, I need my social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many parents will be capitulating, I think, going, okay, I'll open an account in your name.
I'm glad it's not me. I'm glad I don't have to think about it. I think Annabelle and Samuel were just kind of just ahead of every really big problem that happened digitally.
So I've got the right glasses on. No, I don't.
No wonder I can't see you properly.
Have I got? Oh, God, that's better.
There we go, Mr. Magoo.
Kiddies, Mr. Magoo is a cartoon from the 60s and 70s.
I've got to explain it every time I say it in class.
Oh, Magoo, you've done it again.
That's right.
Voiced by Jim Backus, who was also the millionaire in Gilligan's Island.
Yep.
God, the things you can pull out of your brain when you don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I've got the painters in. So if there's noise, hopefully there won't be, but you'll know what that's all about.
Okay.
But I've just told them I'm in a meeting, so hopefully they won't bother me. Let's start off today with just a quick carry on about the tryout book that we talked about last week.
We talked about this last week.
Official Marvel Comics tryout book. Yeah, we talked about this last week, where it was a great book to educate you on how comics are created. But also, what I didn't say, and Darren Close messaged me to tell me what I had forgotten. What I hadn't said was that there was a competition associated with this. They actually wanted you to use it, and then whatever part of it that you want to do, if you're thinking about being a colorist, do the coloring pages, or a penciler, do the penciling pages, and send them in. They were actually looking for artists.
I dimly remember that.
Can you believe there was a time in comics where they had trouble finding people to draw and write comics, that that they would take almost anybody?
I believe. That picture of the Thing is a pretty sad one. That's who's that? Is that Terry Austin doing the pencils and inks?
Yeah.
No wonder he's an inker. Yeah.
I'll tell Terry you said that.
Well, it's just the body shape's all wrong. The Thing is bulkier, isn't he?
Yeah. Terry's got a very distinct style. He's really cartoony for somebody who's most well known for inking superhero comics.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and the winner was Mark Bagley. Who went,
Ah,
yeah, and I had forgotten that, but I did know that at some point. Mark Bagley was one of the first guests at Supernova when I was still involved with Supernova.
and he's
Um,
now an old-time famous Spider-Man artist that had
yeah,
quite a well-respected run on Spider-Man.
on Ultimate Spider-Man mostly. Yeah,
Mm.
him and Bendis launched Ultimate Spider-Man. It was a pretty big deal, and he was actually one of Samuel's favorite artists for a long time, maybe still now, because of Ultimate Spider-Man and
Right.
whatnot. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
not someone who I kind of was overexcited about the artwork, but he was really good at what he did.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there was a thing. I don't know if I'm going to try to uh, to share this or not. Can I have a crack at sharing my screen?
Technology. Go for it.
Okay. Uh, Share this one. Share.
Tim McEwen
How's that?
starts. Oh yeah, pencil by Mark Bagley.
Fantastic. And hopefully that's going to be recorded as well. Hopefully it's not a big blank in the
No,
recording
that
that you
that
make.
should be okay. It's going to muck up all everything else I've got when I edit it, but don't worry about it. I'll sort that problem out later. So
I
that's what he submitted. The pencils of Mark Bagley, as interpreted by some of us. Oh, I
So,
get
so I'll show you what it is. This is what was being made. I was art directing Supernova at the very beginning. Mark Bagley was a guest,
you. Yep.
and he sent pencils for the poster, and I was to ink and color the pencils, which I did. Right, but me being the community-minded person that I am, I thought this would be a good like little community project. So yeah, these are the pencils by Mark Bagley, interpreted by whoever wanted to interpret them at the time on I think this might have been on the Oz Comics message boards,
Right.
forums,
Forums.
back in
Right.
the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I actually printed up several copies and just wire bound them. I don't think I ever sold them. I might have given a couple away, but I probably still got a few of them here, where there's the pencils, and I'll zoom in a little bit. Really tight pencils, very
Yeah. Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
and got some really
I can,
nice
I can see his
stuff to play
semi-cartooning
with.
style with the big feet, big hands, big head.
Yeah,
It sort of
I
works for the character. Not
yeah,
dissing
and
it in any way.
I think that was partly to create that younger Peter Parker as well,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
part of what Ultimate Spider-Man was,
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
back to 16-year-old Peter Parker. But what I did was I put it up I uploaded the pencils to a forum, and I said, "Hey guys, how about we ink this and just put your inks up on the forum?" So I've got a bunch of inks, and does it have a date on it? 2003, so it's over 20 years ago.
Oh
Um,
wow!
yeah. So there's David Blumenstein.
Wow. Yeah.
So his pencils. So you can imagine that this would be the left-hand page, and then this would be the right-hand page.
Right. Gotcha.
So on the left-hand page, I have the name of the
There's
person
Daz.
and what they're known for, etc. Yeah, and here's
Right.
Darren Close. Um,
What a great idea.
yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah,
It
you're
wasn't.
full
I
of it,
mean,
McEwen.
there wasn't a million people who kind of played along, but there was enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
There's Darren's really nice, clean inks
Yeah.
on that.
Daz is a very good inker. Yeah.
I didn't really zoom in on Blumenstein's. David Blumenstein is currently the vice president, I think, of the ACA, and does all sorts of political and other social commentary, rather, I think you would say,
Yeah.
cartooning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't show every page in such great detail. People who now I've even kind of forgotten who they are or what they made, But Michael Connolly, who was inking digitally, probably with a mouse.
Well, he says that there on his sheet. I did it with a
Yeah.
mouse.
Oh
Does
yeah.
that count? Yeah. Yes, it does
Yeah.
count. Yes.
And there was not enough information to know. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Like on Darren's page, I say that he's from Killaroo and Oz Comics, but yeah, not everybody had that much information for. And this is again back in the day where people went, well, as they do
Inked
now,
by
went under
Ghost of
pseudonyms. And I don't know who
Yeah.
the Ghost of Macbeth really is. I
Right.
might have at
Okay.
one point, but I can't remember now what their real name is. So anyway, Matty Wynn, who now
Yeah.
we've mentioned him a few times on the show. Who now lives in
wow, that's nice too.
Yeah, lives
Really
in New
different.
York and does illustrations for the New Yorker and the New
Marvel
York
style. I
Times.
don't give a fuck. I'm going to ink it my way.
Exactly. So this is
Annabelle
Annabelle
McEwen.
McEwen at 5 years old.
Such a hack.
This is all inked by Annabelle.
All inked. This is all inked. And
This is
Samuel.
all inked. All inked. Yeah, and here's Samuel at 8 years old.
8 years old.
Eight or
Wow.
9? 8 years old. Yeah.
Get that man a regular title.
Exactly. And
Tim McEwen.
my
What
one
a
here.
hack.
So
Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
there's a few bits and pieces that I'm too scared to do that other people like Darren did, and I'll show you later on. I think Chris Wall and probably PJ did, where they kind of did the secondary light source into the darker shadows, like under here and in the knee on our left.
Yeah.
And I'm too chicken to do that, probably still. So he's PJ. At the time, PJ was trying very hard to actually maybe be a professional inker. So unfortunately, the image here is a little bit low res, but you can see, he's really trying very hard to do something very interesting with it, and professional,
Right. And
Damien Shanahan from Pizza Man.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a name from the past. Vivian Toe, whose work is always beautiful. Vivian was doing, like as you can see at the bottom here, like lots of anime and manga inspired work. And I don't, did I write what? Yeah, she was using felt tip pens, but they look like they look like dip pen and brush. Really beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
So
God, you'd have to pay me a lot of
here.
money to do a regular Spider-Man book, drawing that uniform in every single panel. God.
And the spaghetti webbing.
And the spaghetti webbing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Wall, one of the greatest of our artists, did this one in mostly Artline felt tip pens. And then did this one digitally. So he gave us 2. And then as was the thing that used to happen on those forums, it still happens now in the digital spaces, people started to go, I'm going to color it as well. So a lot of people colored their own. Some people colored somebody else's. So a bunch of different colored versions as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, maybe we can do something cool like that for this channel. Maybe we could get a penciled image from somewhere and get the people out there to ink them and send them in, and we can sort of show a swag of artwork on the show. This is working quite well. The old screen share business, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Chris Wall colouring his own inks, and lovely style.
Yeah. I can see what you mean about that bicep double lighting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was what I was referring to there. A few of the artists did that because it was let's go back to the beginning. It was inferred in the pencils, that you could go lighter there if you wanted to, and you could go lighter here if you wanted to.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Yeah, send that through to me and I might have a go at that.
Yeah, cool. No worries.
Yeah.
I think I still got the high res somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I'll have to organise the screen sharing a little bit better as well, so the art's nice and large. But that was a good little preview. That was fine.
Sure.
Hopefully it's recorded.
Yeah.
If
not, I'll just send you the PDF and you can put up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Pictures. Yeah.
What else?
I thought I'm so glad that Darren reminded me about the competition and Bagley, and then I thought about this, and I actually brought this PDF into college once to show the students on a day that I didn't have a lot of other content to
interest
present.
in teaching.
Yeah, and I thought I don't know if they'll like it or not, but it was a particular class that really got off on it and were really keen to see all the different versions. Similar to what? This is the process junkie side of me. It's similar to what I was showing you in the comic book inking, the art of comic book inking stuff, where there's page after page of the same set of pencils inked by a different person. So really love seeing that stuff.
Well, I'm trying to, as you know, because I complained to you yesterday, trying to set up a webcam thing on Zooms and how it fits into our methodology here on Club Damingo to try and get a webcam drawing cam happening. So that I can
That's for our OnlyFans, Club Damingo OnlyFans. Is that right?
of one. Oh.
22. Bell
No, don't count Belle. She's not interested.
Yeah, 24 hours a day, non-stop penciling and inking.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What are you trying to do with that? Is that like to just stream?
Well, instead of two heads here, that you'd actually see my bum as I'm drawing here.
Woo! See, OnlyFans.
Yeah. So, no, just to set up a camera on the drawing board over there, and just while we're talking, be able to shift to a seeing what's being inked or penciled or whatever, just for shits and giggles.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
I
just caught up with Lauren Marshall's Sketch Biz, and she's definitely shifted towards that in her interview style show.
Yeah. It seems that everyone's really interested in that process stuff that you were mentioning. So I was just thinking of how to open this up a little bit. So it's still us having a chat, but they're also maybe seeing some art being done or some inking. So it would be good to maybe get the Spider-Man image, and next week while we're talking, I could be inking that, or Morton Stone picture, or something that's going to be used in print somewhere, just for a bit of fun while we talk.
So dual cameras you'll set up, and you'll switch between the two.
Yeah, I almost had it happening, but I think my current webcam is probably aged out. My secondary one, my backup camera, is probably aged out. So I need to buy a modern webcam, and then Zoom will be able to handle it. So it's not a problem there. I think I was 99% there, but just the equipment that I have currently is a little bit old, so I need to upgrade before I can do anything else.
Yeah,
but if that's going to succeed, you'll be the first to know.
Cool. All right.
Also, what I did last night was set up a Club Damingo email. So we have our own email now, which would be good if people need to send us artwork or stuff to post online, if we go down that way. Or if people have any questions for us, or any subjects that they'd like us to have a chat about, if we have an opinion or not on it. So I'll put.
So is that live now?
It is live now. I'll put it underneath the show notes. But just to verbalise it, it's clubdamingo@cyclonecomics.com.au, all one word, all lowercase. Club Damingo, Damingo with an A, at cyclonecomics.com.au. So that is the official club email. So if anyone wants to get in touch with us, I'll get the bouncers to check the mail every day and see what happens.
Cool. Hey, you know what we didn't talk about before starting the show was the idea I had of printing a pin. Do you want to talk about that here? A Club Damingo pin?
Yeah. A club pin, of course.
Yeah. So I thought, especially like we're 3/4 of the way through our first year, and that's a good time to start thinking about if we wanted to do anything to celebrate the first anniversary. I thought a pin would be good. And I know Scamp printed some for Scamp. Obviously, I haven't cracked this one open yet. And it's really simple. It's just white enamel, and it's a dark metal. It's not quite black, but so it's just basically black and white.
Right. So it's just the face. It's just the face.
Yeah.
Right. So Scamp's not written on there as part of the pin.
Shall I just open it? I should just open it. No. So it's a package I won't be able to open without scissors, I think. So I won't open it. But you can see it's die cut. It's got its own shape.
Yep.
And etc.
I
sent you what the prices were for them. Which I'm not going to say on air because it may not be the same for everybody.
But it's in dollars.
Yes, each. But they're really lovely and obviously really nicely packed as well, which is part of the price. And
so it's good to be nicely.
Nicely packed.
It's good to be always good to be nicely packed.
Have a nice package. The old
Chaloner
package. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what the pin should be. A Chaloner bulge.
Yeah. Well, the last pin that I got was the Cartoon Association one.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah. So, of course, the next subject is to what the pin is actually designed. What would you put on there? What would be your suggestion?
Man, I would just put on the square cover photo that you use for
So,
every episode.
so it'd be
It
a
just says
square
Club
pin.
Domingo with the finger and the yellow background. And you could probably do it in probably metal being the black parts and yellow background and just that's all, maybe. I
Right.
don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really arresting.
But
And I
no
think a nice
text to say I'm a member or anything like that.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. I hadn't thought of that. I kind of, I go for the simple solution and then stop thinking. So,
Yeah.
it's just I think it's a really lovely design. It'd be quite arresting as a square yellow and black thing, as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
pin,
Yeah.
at pin size.
Mm.
And do the simple one first, and then in year two we'll release a different one.
And just make it about that big by that big, so that you.
Yeah, a good 10 centimeters square, I
Yeah,
reckon. Yeah,
that's right. Pin it on
with
your
a chain.
belt. Yeah,
And
that's
wear
right. Yeah,
with a chain like
the face of an alarm clock.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
A funky DJ.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love brainstorming ideas with you. It's so creative.
So
Uh,
yeah, I
yeah,
reckon
we
that'd be
might do
good.
that. Yeah, if people are interested
Sell
in
them.
advance orders or pre-sale interest in the pin, drop us a line at the email.
Yeah, we've got an email now.
At the
What
email
is
at
it?
clubdamingo@cyclonecomics.com.au. That number again, clubdamingo@cyclonecomics.com.au.
Okay,
Click
cool.
subscribe and
Like and subscribe. It's
like and subscribe. Oh, I hate that.
yeah,
God.
I know. It's a but yeah, we would. I look. I don't want to make too much money out of it. I'd rather whatever it costs, just make sure we get that money back
Make money.
and people wear the pin. Maybe it should be a pin with a QR code on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's right. Now you think just a
And look,
QR code.
this is yeah, just a QR code. That's all it should be actually. But this is the weird thing with me. Like I'm halfway through thinking about this and writing to you about it and going and yet I'm just too chicken shit to do a pin for greener pastures. Why haven't I done that yet? I should just do one. Like it actually wouldn't cost that much to do a run of
You've
50
you've already
enamel
done a circular
pins.
design with half his face and stuff like that on. You got
Yeah,
a pin design just sitting there. Just
pretty
do
close.
it.
I know.
Look,
Yeah.
let's hang up. Let's stop this. You spend the rest of the day getting the
Oh,
pin to the printers.
this is this is the reason why I don't do it because every time I think of something else, it's like that's not the core idea or the core job. That's not the core job. I
Yeah, but
need
you
to.
stay focused to the point where nothing else gets done, and the fun stuff is around the edges. It can be.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's the idea. I'd like
yeah,
to. Yeah. I need to get some core work done, and then I'll start thinking about that fun stuff around the edges again. That's right. Get my core nice and strong.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned just very quickly before we press record that you're progressing at pace with your retouching of the Greener Pastures Volume One master
Yeah.
files, which is good to hear as well. So you're
Yeah.
actually making progress there.
Yeah. And I got a I don't know if we talked about this on the show at any point or not, but I've got uh, I've got a Photoshop system, right, to bring in the original scan, and then I've got several folders or two folders full of several layers for all of the corrections above that. And I kind of trialed it with 4 or 5 pages, and then recorded it as a macro in Photoshop, an action in Photoshop. So now I can just open up the scan and then hit the action, and it creates all of the folders and the what do you call them? Adjustment layers. Puts
Yep.
it all in there, ready for me to use, which saves probably 10 minutes. Actually, I was going to say a couple of minutes, but it probably saves me a good 10 minutes because I'm farting around with bits and pieces. So it's all just a macro that happens instantly now, especially now that I'm on my new Mac. Like it really does happen instantly. And I built this thing out of a YouTube session that I watched with the guy who was remastering the Cerebus phone books,
Ah, right.
and the methodology that he had. So he set up a specific set of layers, adjustment layers, which I hadn't ever thought of it before. I don't know what you do, but at the end, I convert everything to a bitmap. So it's just a bitmap file. It's black or white. There's no gray, fuzzy edges to anything. And he had this system where, like from the very beginning, it's a bitmap, but it's an adjustable bitmap. I'm going, well, how do you adjust that? And it's like, so that's an adjustment layer of a 50% threshold. I'm going, oh, that's pretty genius. And I haven't got it open in front of me, but there's another layer for the exposure. So I do an overall exposure to try to get the levels right. I do use levels to do it, a levels layer. And it's never quite like you take the two arrows and levels. I never have them right up against each other. I bring it down to probably 50% or a little bit lower for the blacks, and up to about 20 to 30 or 35 for the whites, to drop out the whites, and then kind of mess around with it there. But there's always, this has been the problem I've had, is that most of my brush ink work is pretty black, but there's been a few pages where I must have been using watered down ink on that day.
Right.
And the outline, felt tip stuff is actually faded. So I can't adjust for everything. So I adjust for most of it, which is mostly the brushwork. And then I have a secondary layer. I've got the scan, and I have a copy of the scan. And on that, I actually go in with the burn and dodge tool and burn in parts that need to be a little bit darker. And I just watch that appear in the 50% threshold. It's underneath that layer, so you can actually see exactly what it's going to look like. And it's like, I was doing a lot of guesswork before about whether or not this is going to be enough when I finally go, convert to bitmap 50% threshold. So this is not exactly the method that I think it was Sean, his name is. There's two fellas that were involved with it, and I'm hoping I'm remembering the right guy. So it's not exactly the method that Sean used. I found his to not really work for me terribly well.
Right. Okay.
But I came up with a slightly simpler version, which now, other than the fact that I've got a couple of actions that help as well, like it's actually helping me burn through the work very quickly.
Cool. Do you use the multiply not filter, but option on your layers?
But for this methodology, no. There's no. When I'm doing coloring, I do.
There's no see-through need. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you save your bitmaps as? What DPI?
What PPI?
Yeah.
At the moment, when they're A3, so at A3 size, I'm saving still at. This is probably half of my problem as to why it's taking me so long. But my eyesight's probably not quite as good as it was 5 or 10 years ago. But when digital was really coming in and people were scanning pages and printing them digitally, I could see the bitmaps. When people were even doing 600 on the page, I could see the bitmaps, and it drove me mad.
Yeah.
So
you actually glitched a little bit when you said your PPI. So you going like 1200 or anything like that? What was the answer?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
12
yeah.
at 150% of print size. So when it comes down to 67%, like the actual print size, that would be adding 50% on top of that as well. So it's probably more like 1800 PPI.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I don't know. What do you do? Are you like that high res?
Yeah, I scan in, or I used to. I don't know whether I do it now. I think I do. Scan in at bitmap at 120 at 1200 DPI, and that generally gets rid of a lot of shit. And then I save when I finish cleaning up the scan, I save it as 300 DPI, but at A3. As
300.
Yeah, not as a bitmap though, but as a TIFF or something like that.
Right.
TIFF or mainly TIFF.
Right.
But I have working files as well. So I have a master file that's scanned in as a bitmap as 1200 DPI, and then when I'm happy, I export it out as a 300 DPI at A3, and then it gets reduced into your program on your print size, whatever that might be. And that seems
so that would bring it. That would only bring it up to like 450 PPI.
Yeah. And
I don't know. That's not enough.
Have you seen any pixelated line work on my stuff in print?
Probably not. I used to be able to see it in people's work. I Okay, I'm going to have a closer look. I
I
am.
don't.
I've said this before. I am trying to future proof, as well. But
Yeah.
I like honestly, you're making me tremble when you say that you scan at bitmap. You don't scan at RGB, like you like.
Oh, no. If I'm doing black and white
Far
line
out.
work, if
But
I'm
surely you want an archived version of the artwork in RGB
why?
because it's the best reproduction that you're going to get of it. And if the house goes up in flames, but you've got your RGB files offsite somewhere, then at least you've still got you've got a, let's say, even if it's only 300, but you've got a good high res version of your page of artwork.
I've got my nice 1200 DPI bitmap master that is
But the bitmap is making all the decisions for you. It's
how?
deciding what drops out and what doesn't. I can see when I look at your original artwork, I can tell that there's no touching up needed other than maybe dust on the scanner bed, right? Because your ink work is so black that the black is going to be black and the white is going to be white. So it actually makes sense for you for sure. But even so, that is kind of weird to me that you wouldn't, like the art of books that IDW brings out, but not the art of books,
The artist editions.
yeah, the artist editions. They're
Yeah.
all like high res RGB scans.
Yeah, well, that's a new beast. That's a purpose-built beast which I don't necessarily agree with because I think in a lot of cases it's the magician telling how the trick is made. So selling and buying original art is one thing. Of course, you get to see the actual physicalness of it in your hand, but the actual artist editions where the most recent scan is one that was done 6 months ago of a piece of artwork that was produced in 1963, and it's all yellowed and got piss stains on it and coffee stains and hack and slash da da da. If it was done back in 1963, a nice RGB high quality scan of the original artwork that I can see, but to have a book of scangy looking original art sort of really scratches my head sometimes.
Really?
Plus it's kind of priced out of my price range where I'm not the target market. So,
Sure.
I mean, I've got a couple of them. I've got a couple.
What have you got?
I've got an oversized Will Eisner one. I've got a Xenozoic Tales one, and I've got a Love and Rockets one, a Jaime Hernandez one. And I suppose that sort of like undermines my rationale. But
I think they're incredible. I love all that stuff. You look at like the Red Nails one, the Barry Windsor Smith Conan Red Nails one is amazing. All of the stuff in the margins, all the writing from Barry and maybe the editor, and I was just looking just the other day. I was looking at the Micronauts one, the Michael Golden Micronauts one, and the amount of blue line, corrections that are being done, and but that's the whole idea, isn't it? To demystify it for us artists.
Oh, for us artists, there's a point to be made there. But if you're a reader of Spider-Man, what's the allure of seeing all whiteout and fuck ups of art and editor orders when what you want to do is just enjoy the stories? It's like this mental different hats.
Yeah. It's not for the regular reader. It's absolutely for the art appreciator. I didn't want to say connoisseur, but the art appreciator or the creator who really wants to see how it was done. Because we'll never get to hold that amount of Will Eisner spirit original art in our hands. So this is the next best thing. I think they're amazing. I wish I could buy more of them.
Yeah. I can see the attraction and the allure. Just that for years I was struggling with what are these things actually for? Who's going to dip their hand in their pocket and pay $150 for one of these things, or $150 US for these things?
Yeah.
That's going to sit awkwardly in your shelf space. So they're not practical in any way, shape, or form, and they just solve the curiosity problem of that's what the original art looks like, when it was not designed to be ever seen in that way as a technical piece of practical practical scanned artwork was never meant to be seen by anyone else except the editors and publishers.
Yeah. No, 100%. But that also, there's a deeper curiosity when you say just, to what was the term you just used, to alleviate your curiosity, satisfy your curiosity. It's a pretty deep curiosity when you're an actual creator and you're really getting into Barry Windsor Smith and how did he do those kind of blobby hatching that he did or whatever. There's a much deeper curiosity, and then you start to go, oh my God, I can't believe what a mess Will Eisner's pages were. They were just like gone through a shredder. They look like they've been in the butchers,
But I can totally get it as a product of interest for people who are interested in the artwork, but the price point makes it restrictive to the people that should be looking at it. In a lot of cases, the
price point is, look, I don't know that you basically have to double it if it's coming from America, but I would say that the price point is actually reasonable for the production value. The fact of the huge, weird size, which makes it already expensive, and the amazing hardcoverness of it and the good quality paper. Although, look, I must be a little bit easier to please because it was only a week or so ago somebody was rabbiting on about how poorly made they are. Again, it was the guy. It was the not the guy who did the remastering of the Cerebus pages, but the guy he's in partnership with as a production house. He was going on about he was going to do one for some artist himself because he's sick of how badly IDW do them. So I didn't realize that IDW did them that badly. But
well, it's IDW, and then Scott Dunbier has gone off. He used to work in that part of IDW doing those artist editions. Now he's gone off and running his own business. So we would hope that the binding and printing is a bit of a step up now that he has more control of the product. Yeah.
And there's certain people like Jeff Smith where I go, I want to see his artist editions, like all being done on every page. There's nothing to learn from the artist edition. They just look like the same pages but blown up bigger. So I understand that as an issue for sure.
Yeah. And I suppose the cornerstone of my gripe is just affordability for the young artists that would get the most benefit out of having a book like that. And people that move house and flats and the rental lifestyle where they have got to take these big lumbering books. I mean, I know Darren Close is a bit of a fan of the artist editions, and I can only imagine moving day in the Close household of here comes that box of artist editions.
It's solid wood. Yeah. So I've got a few. I was just looking at the Dave Stevens Rocketeer one recently as well, and there's the brushwork I want to do. Oh, it's so beautiful.
So no, I am torn between liking the idea and thinking that it's a bit of a I don't know what the other word is, cash cow for the collector market that can't afford the original art, but the collector markets are not the artists that are wanting to learn from this original art stuff. And I suppose the older the artwork and the more it's been through so many collectors' hands and whatever, the more that a modern scan of it, with panels cut out and yellowing card and wiped out and stuff like that, it becomes a little bit of a
I think it's a good thing in that it's forcing. I suppose it's happening at heritage auctions anyway, which is where most of the scans I think end up coming from. It's so good that somebody's doing high-res scans of stuff as it comes through a point like heritage auctions. Because again, I know it's not everyone's taste, but the John Byrne, Terry Austin X-Men pages are like almost plus some pages, almost all of the art line felt tip pen artwork has disappeared completely. And it's like, wow, it's like really disappearing now.
Same with some of the Rob Liefeld original art, because he uses all kinds of felt tip pens. Just, so that's happening. Yeah.
Well, that was the 90s because the X-Men pages I'm talking about were the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And now, even 90s stuff is like fading to nothing. So, yeah. There you go.
So
that was contentious. Jesus. You don't like them? What is wrong?
If someone wanted to gift me one, I wouldn't say no, but I don't have the budget to buy it, and that's totally. It gives me the irrits as well. So
that's when I start I could definitely start to see them trying to cash in when they start to go, well, we can no longer actually do a book of a good run of the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or whatever. So this special one where we've got 1 page from this and 2 pages from this other thing, and it's like, now you're starting to just, it's not even a well curated or neatly curated piece of publication. It's a bit of a cash grab of the stuff you couldn't find any other way to sell. So
have you got the Red Nails one, the Barry Smith one?
Yeah.
Is it fairly comprehensive? Has it got all the pages?
I'm pretty sure it's every single page.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's somebody I met once. Was it him? I'm pretty sure that's somebody who owns the entirety of the artwork for the entire double issue or special treasury or whatever it was that it was published in. If I was to tell the story, I'd probably get it wrong. But one of the collectors that came to Supernova from overseas, a friend of Royd's who looks after the comic book guests at Supernova, who's a multimillionaire. This is the reason why original art is so expensive, because everyone who's our age who is now like really rich is buying it. But he's got like no joke, like a proper bank vault setup at his house, which is fireproof and blah, blah, blah. And he's got, I'm pretty sure he was the one who had the entire set of pages for that, and a couple of other really incredible books where he's got every page from the entire book. And it's in the vault, which, if you go over and visit him, he'll happily show you. But when are you going to go to the Cayman Islands, so it's,
that's just,
and that's not that's not a euphemism. It's like that's where he keeps his shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. I could wax lyrical in a bad way about that whole thing, but good enough. He's got the money to do it. He obviously he can spend his money the way he wants. But I was going to chime in with the cost of original art these days. Again, doesn't trickle down to the artwork, the artist at all. And should it? How practical is it to be able to organise that kind of stuff? Is it goodwill? Is it fair trading? Is it just fuck you? I've got it for a deal. I'll keep it in my safe in the Cayman Islands, and only me and my friends can see it.
And you, the artist, you sold it when you needed the cash. So you got the cash when you needed it, and now I'm selling it to get the cash when I need it, or whatever.
I would never be good.
I agree with that, but
I would never be good on a debating team, because I'd have my arguments, and then I'd agree half the time with the the opposition. So I mean, the artist the argument for artist editions, I can totally get a lot of the argument for, but I just still have a couple of niggling against the cons. And same with the prices of original art and stuff like that. All stuff that you have no control of. It's just market, demand and things like that.
Yeah.
But who would have thought that some of the prices being got for some of the original art pages that are floating around in the last 12 months?
Yeah. No, truly. So it's an interesting kind of adjacent industry, all of its own.
That's right. Now you started all that off by the tryout book.
That's right. First subject of the. We had nothing to talk about today, Gary. Remember? Gary's texting me. We've got nothing to talk about. We've got nothing to talk about today. Here we are, like 3/4 of the way through.
I've got some homework. You know how last week I'd forgotten about a particular superhero comic by Stuart Black, that the Four Horsemen, horsemen and the Four Horse Stems. Yes, by Stuart Black's work. I also got contacted by Gary Della, who said, "Don't forget about Torn."
Torn, of course.
Torn's superhero universe for Reverie Comics. So that's, of course, an Australian superhero series as well. And that overflows to, there's a Torn Gorilla My Dreams team up crossover happening at the moment. So there's Tim Styles' Gorilla My Dreams, which is, superheroics with primates or a primate.
A primate, he wrote such a good team up with Gorilla My Dreams, Knockaround Guy and Trevor, and I've just left it with him to find an artist to draw it. I'm not drawing it, but it's a really cool superhero team uppy thing
Right.
set in Sydney, which is really cool as well. So hopefully that'll happen, second or third issue of Team Up when that finally comes around as well.
Right. Which is a nice little segue for how's 2026 shaping up for you, Tim?
Yeah, well, that 2026 is a year that'll happen next year, and it'll go for a good 12 months, and we'll slide directly into 2027. I think is what's planned, and yeah, so it's good.
Come on, you've got some desires or some plans at least.
God.
We
did we bring it up at all in an earlier week where I feel like almost everything that I had planned for 2026 didn't happen, and
for
is having to be
2025.
shifted. Sorry, 2025. Yeah, is being shifted to 2026.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
yeah. And for me, it was definitely the short film which railroaded everything. And I'm actually Michael and I are having a bite to eat tonight, and we're going to talk over one of the last things that kind of needs to be organised with that. And I've said to him, like I've said outright, the film has basically eaten all of my creative time for the whole year. I've done almost nothing else. And next year, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to be back on the comics, and that's going to have to be my core focus for the entire year. I've got to get comics out, because what's the use of having a television show if we have no comic books? Like it's the comic books I want to make. So you're going to have to take it over, Michael. You're going to have to be on point instead of me, which is what my role ended up being, was trying to shepherd the film as best as possible. And that's not to say other people weren't doing what they needed to do, especially Nick Kachevsky, the co-writer director. But there's so much to do on a short film that I didn't know I was going to be doing.
And you're just talking about your space, your headspace, your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not denying anyone else's input into the project or into Greener Pastures, but just for you, all of your year kind of slid sideways. Yeah.
So the aim is, like we were talking about we're going into dream sequence
to early 2025. Oh, there we go.
The trade paperback is priority number one. I've got to get that finished. I've had somebody ping me again on Kickstarter, so I'll do an update on Kickstarter about that soon. You can tell from my body language I'm looking down as I say that, because I'm so embarrassed about how long it's taking. But that's the first cab off the rank is to get the trade paperback finished and printed and distributed. And then I'm going to start working on Greener Pastures number 9, which is fully scripted, and not kickstarting that until the print ready PDF is kind of in Baden's Dropbox ready to print. And then I'll kickstart that. And then after that, it'll be Team Up number 1, and then GP 10, and then Team Up 2. So I'll just kind of alternate there. So I'm hoping that next year, like when practical, reasonable Tim is talking, I say, I intend to get the trade paperback GP 9 and Team Up 1 done. And then optimistic, impractical Tim says, I reckon you could probably get GP 10 as well, and a good start on Team Up 2 in that year. But probably not.
I foolishly did a mud map the other day of release times for Jackaroo next year and other projects that I've got on the plate. And that was all well and good when I was writing it down. And I went in the next morning and reviewed what I'd written down. And I went, "You're an idiot, Gary. That's not going to happen. That's certainly not going to happen."
I've done that so many times. I've got so many spreadsheets of release dates and how I will do it and what overlaps with what. And I think for me personally, to get back into the flow of it, it's less about trying to hit a schedule and more about trying to just put my nose to the drawing board for a block of time every day, and get that momentum, which we already mentioned today, to get that momentum happening. And then stuff will be released as it's released.
The order of release will stay the same. Just the timing of the releases can be
flexible,
open.
the time when I was doing the spreadsheets and trying to make a schedule that I thought I could actually keep to, again, trying to be reasonable as well as optimistic, but a schedule I thought I could probably keep to was when I was also trying to include a diamond distribution system as part of it. And I'm actually putting that to the side for probably another year, probably more like 2.
Yeah.
So at this point, I just want to get the pages done.
You need a growing pile of stuff that is ready to go.
Yeah.
So when you do the diamond or equivalent, the overseas distribution thing, because diamond's not around anymore, you've got a backlog of issues. You can go, let's do it.
Exactly. So that's the plan for that. At the same time, the film hopefully will get itself done. Those of you that are kind of keeping score, we should have had a industry screening by now already. November was the date, and it kept on getting put back. And now that it's Christmas, New Year, it's just ridiculous to try to get industry people to a screening of something like our independent short film any earlier than February, because people. I once was trying to organize lunch with an old friend. I think I might have told this story already. An old friend from college who's big into startups and tech and stuff like that. I said, let's get together on such and such a date. And he said, nobody goes back to work until Australia Day, the earliest. It's like, what, the 24th of January? All right, I'll see you like the week after the 24th of January. Yeah. So he and talking to Michael, who's in law, etc. He's going, it can be the case. These people just take the entirety of that time off and take their kids overseas or whatever. We're talking about people who work at Netflix or Screen Australia, and we want to make sure that they're able to come to the screening. So it looks like February before we do a screening now, which is good. It gives me a breather. I feel like there's no pressure for getting stuff organized for that. So there's that, and really trying to do many fewer cons in 2026, and I said that for 2025, and yet I ended up doing whatever it was, 7. And I just read to Anne-Marie this morning, I read what the bare minimum looks like at this point. She said, that's already 6. I said, I know. So, like, I've just made a list of the ones that we really shouldn't say no to, and it's already 6 or 7.
But if you have Greener Pastures 9, and if you have Team Up 1 floating around next year, you want to be able to have locked in shows that you can actually push those things, or else it's kind of pointless. Yeah.
And almost all of those conventions are in the second half of the year. So I would hope that I would surely have at least GP9, and might even have Team Up 1 and a couple of other bits and pieces. Right. So So that's what 26 looks like for me.
Yeah, I've been trying to boil down, because I've got several projects, probably 3 or 4, that are projects unto themselves, that I've been trying to figure a way that I can condense those down into a more manageable way of doing things. And the answer for me is, because I still want to do a Jackaroo title, the main Jackaroo title, on a semi-regular basis whenever I can complete them and colour them. But I also want to use Adventure Illustrated as a vehicle for all of my other ideas. I think bouncing off and doing another series to run alongside Adventure Illustrated and the Jackaroo is just going to be impossible. There's no time. If I can juggle 2 titles at best, like you are with Team Up and the normal Greener Pastures title, but Adventure Illustrated should be used to solve that problem of, here's my other ideas. It's short stories or shorter chapters in an anthology format, but at least you get a taste of each of those other ideas as it progresses through issues of Adventure Illustrated.
Yeah, so, I love the idea of a one-man anthology for you, Gary. That'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm going back to that core idea of, so Adventure Illustrated would have Cyclone Force or Jackaroo, or continuing that plot line of those characters. It would have Red Kelso continuing, and it would have Morton Stone stories in there. I had the idea of releasing a one-shot of Morton Stone, but I think just even coordinating that with the work that I've got to do on each of the stories to make them finished and printable, would be too much of a hole in my production on the Jackaroo, but doing it in, like if there was going to be half a dozen stories in a one-off Morton book, that if I was to run each of those in issues of Adventure Illustrated, I'd work through them. There's content already done and close to finished there, and it'd make getting future issues of Adventure Illustrated easier.
Yeah.
So,
So would you, the Jackaroo project, is that like a floppy with 20 to 30 pages per issue?
Yeah.
And would you be making it with that in mind, as in a discrete chapter? You're similar to that, yeah?
So this idea would be the original Jackaroo material plus finishing off the story. So at the moment, I've got it blocked out to be about 10 or so issues. So 5 of them being reprint material with additional artwork and remastered art, and then new material finishing off the story towards the end there. And then Adventure Illustrated would complement that with stories that run alongside the Jackaroo title. Of course, Red Kelso has already been wrapped into the timeline of the Jackaroo. Morton Stone is wrapped into the continuity of the Jackaroo, and Cyclone Force and those characters are all part of the Jackaroo anyway. So it's I've got story ideas that I want to work on with other people, like a Jackaroo short story that might be written by Spedsy and drawn by me has a home in Adventure Illustrated, not necessarily in the Jackaroo regular title.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to the Adventure Illustrated will be more of a Gary Chaloner and friends working on his characters title.
Yeah.
So that's the way I've kind of rationalized it, so that I can get more issues of Adventure Illustrated done, because I don't want to let that lie and die through working on other projects.
Yeah.
And also there's 1 or 2 other projects that don't have a home currently. One project in particular that might be best served running in Adventure Illustrated as well for next year. And it's smaller bite-sized stories to finish for Adventure Illustrated as well, while I'm working on a Jackaroo at the same time.
Yeah, cool. I think it's a great plan. Do that Jackaroo, especially considering a lot of it, the first half of it will be at most remastering some pages and rearranging a few pages.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a good way to get some momentum up and happening. And alternate, like I was talking about.
I was trying to. Yeah. The thing that I haven't rationalized yet is that I think, knowing my daily routine as it's coalesced now with my physical health issues and stuff like that, I think I can only do one thing at a time, like one headspace thing at a time. Yeah. And I still haven't rationalized the Wolfman project that I'm just about to start drawing. And I was thinking that I could do the original art of that during the mornings when I'm strong enough to draw without the shaky hand, and I can do the colouring and lettering of the Jackaroo old material in the evenings, because it's fast enough to do a colouring of a page maybe across 2 days, and read things like that.
That's a great plan. Yeah.
So
the Wolfman stuff. So remind me and the kiddies at home, but the Wolfman stuff is the later issues of the Jackaroo that you'll get to eventually after
this is a separate freestanding project, which is basically an origin story.
So that's a third project. That's a third project,
and I have to rationalize somehow the Wolfman project with the Jackaroo title so that they occupy the same space. So there's still 2 things. There's whether it be the Jackaroo reprint project or the Jackaroo Wolfman project, that is one hat that I'm wearing, and then there's the Adventure Illustrated stories that have the shorter stories with other people happening. So there is only space for one thing at a time each day for me. So whether the Wolfman story gets folded into the numbering of the Jackaroo title somehow, that could be a solution to that problem as well. So
I reckon.
Yeah.
And that the idea that you're kind of being forced to say, well, mornings are for drawing and evenings are for technical work, could actually end up creating a great kind of mind space for you, then exactly when gears get changed and all of that stuff. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what I'm aiming towards. And on my list there, I actually made the stupid error of putting months, as to you complete this in this month, and then the next month you release this, and then you print that and you color this and you do. Just that's pointless. That's pointless.
Done all that.
Like you, it's just what do you want to do next in the order of things? The order is important because of continuity, but the timing of it is not so important anymore. Not really.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
So that's my plans for 2026 is I'm continuing colouring the Jackaroo old material. And while I'm colouring, I'm working on the Wolfman Jackaroo material, which is all new. And hopefully I'll start posting that online. And then by the time I finish the Wolfman project, the colouring of the old material of Jackaroo will be done. And I start on finishing off that original story of new material. That'll be coloured as well.
Cool.
So, art of Wolfman and then new art for Jackaroo. And so Wolfman and then at the same time colouring the old Jackaroo. They're my two things that I have to go ahead with. Yeah. And then when the first issue of Jackaroo is finished, then I turn my attention to the next issue of Adventure Illustrated and then back to Jackaroo and then back to Adventure Illustrated. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's a bit of a balancing act, but I think what needs to be knocked on the head, as we've said a couple of times already, is timing. Yeah. Just don't expect to have a fixed release date or else you'll just disappoint yourself and a lot of other people.
Yeah. It's too stressful to do that. Yeah. It's much better to just have it ready and release it when it's ready. And release being start the Kickstarter.
Yep. And that's part of the reason why we were doing this show, to sort of keep our faces out there and give people the opportunity to see where we're at and what our plans are and how they change. Like the short movie for you is like kicked you out of 2025 and you're firmly into 2026 already.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that threw me for not having a really productive 2025, which was Cyclone's 40th year, and all of my plans for that just went out the door when I was offered the collection for John Law, where I had to do a new finishing story and design and collate the whole book. And that just punched a big hole in my schedule, which I've just started to recover from now. So all my plans for the 40th anniversary are basically transferred to 2026. And we start again.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the latest plan. And I think that's the easiest way to, without making yourself turn in knots, that's the best way to approach things, is just one project at a time, one issue at a time. What am I doing this week?
Yeah.
Cool. Do it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. And your plan is still to use Kickstarter as the pre-ordering method?
Not locked
pre-ordering
in.
System?
Not locked in.
Not locked in. Yeah, okay.
And like you, I think we're both in agreement that doing the art first is key, and then what you do with it is secondary down the track.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just trying to get where you think your head is at for that.
Yeah.
I sent you a couple of links to a couple of ink pulp discussions.
And I've seen the first one, haven't seen the second one.
So before I watched those two, there was another one on, I forget what show it is, but a pretty full-on American kind of talk show with a few retailers and they bring in guests of all sorts. They've been interesting, but I think I can't really hack it watching or listening to any more of them. But they just, because they go for 3 hours as well, and it's just too much. Yeah. But I just watched one where they interviewed a guy called Eric July, who I'd never heard of before. But they didn't give enough context or backstory about how it initially started. It was more about what happened from the day that he started it, rather than how did you get to that point. But he's got a publishing concern called the Rippaverse, RIPPA.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, and like he didn't do Kickstarter. He did his own pre-order system on a website, and it's like, how did you get all of these people in the first place? Was the thing, either I missed it or they didn't really cover it well enough. But he made $1 million in a day. The first day that he launched it, it was like $1 million, and the second day, between the second and third day, there was another $1 million, and so like there's enormous amount of money. So now he's got a whole publishing line of comics, like I don't know, half a dozen or more comics, and he employs people to write and draw them. But I was going, man, is that still a thing that somebody can somehow just hook into something, tap into something, and make $1 million in a day? As in, $1 million worth of orders. You've still got to print it and etc. But like, man,
Is he based
It
in
was
the
interesting.
States?
The list, yes, in the States, absolutely, yeah. Again, it wouldn't work for you and I because he one of the big things for him was no, I don't want to be part of Diamond. I don't go through Diamond at all. There's no there's no distribution system I use. I distribute my own comics. There's no
Yeah.
Kickstarter. I use my own pre-ordering system. Blah blah blah. And obviously he was lucky enough, or whatever. Not lucky, but it happened that from day one he was of an order of magnitude where distribution was a whole department that he needed to hire and get a new warehouse, and all of a sudden he was an actual running company.
Yeah.
And yeah, we couldn't do that here. It just wouldn't.
No, the scale is all wrong from doing it from
Yeah.
Australia, and postage and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which begs the idea of you solve all these problems or not with English language distribution and publishing, and that's only in English language. If you were to consciously say, right, I want to go to Europe now and have an Italian edition and a Portuguese edition and a Spanish edition and another edition for the UK market in English and one for the Asian market, like China or Japan or whatever. I don't think a lot of creators, particularly in Australia, have thought about that tangent enough because it's so hard just mastering the English editions.
Yep.
The whole prospect of dealing with other countries in other languages is, mind numbing.
It's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
I have an old friend. Again, we might have mentioned this in a very early episode. Who I worked with on Happy Feet 2. He was a 3D modeler, and he's French. And does he live in England or France now? But he said, and he's good friends with Nick, our co-writer director on the short film. And Nick saw him recently, as in the last 18 months, and they were talking about me, obviously, because they're talking about the short film. And Simon said we should, if he wants, he can send them to me and I'll translate them and we'll see what we can do about getting them published here in France. And it's like, well, it's on the to-do list, but when will I get to the mindset where I can talk to him about that, and actually give it the right amount of attention. But yeah, it's on the to-do list.
And again,
you've got people like Tom Taylor and Chris Gooch, I don't know who else, who get international editions of their work, but that's because they're going through Top Shelf or Scholastic or whoever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But if very few people do it themselves.
Yeah, if you're pitching by yourself, you need to have a back catalogue of material, I think, to be able to sell to an overseas publisher in a foreign language, so that they don't know of you, but they can research you easily enough, and they know that you've got 10 issues out, 12 issues out, or whatever, to be able to make decisions on that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very hard pitching a new concept to any publisher anywhere in the world at the moment.
Yeah. I feel like I know it's a long game for you when we talk like this, but when you've got all of the like when you've got 4 issues worth of Jackaroo colored and remastered, like that's something to take to Titan or to whoever it is in England, and to try to find somebody in Europe and et cetera, because that is just 100% ready to go, right? As the first volume or the first Monday Disney or whatever. I think there's a market there because it's beautiful stuff, and once it's in color, it's ready to go. In fact, stop the digital coloring. You should be watercoloring it by hand. That's what you should do.
With my wonky hand. How do you get that effect, Gary? Parkinson's. It's the Parkinson's filter.
Yeah.
Talking about France.
Oh, yeah.
How about that news about Angoulême not being held this year? Or next year, next January.
Next year. Yeah.
That's the power of artists, isn't it?
How about that, though? Like 52 years annually, and then like they're not doing it 1 year after 52 years. It's like, wow. It's something important going on there. So so to tell the kiddies at home what's going on there.
It's not being held.
There's a boycott, right?
There's a girl cot and a boycott. There has been the perceived, not mismanagement, but opaque management and nepotism in the organising business that runs the festival each year, and this has been building over a series of years. And then there was a question of sexual assault happening from one of the female staff members of the company that runs the festival, that deals with local government and stuff like that. But anyway, she was assaulted, and so there was that whole how was that handled, and it was handled very badly. She ended up being given the flick, and the organisers said it wasn't because she was sexually assaulted, it was other reasons. But this put this got out into the community, and all these female creators signed a petition of lack of confidence in the organisers of the festival, and that was backed up by a lack of confidence petition signed by the Grand Prix winners, which is the main award given out at the festival. And so there was a huge lack of confidence in the business that has been organising it recently, and so things have ground to a halt for a year, and hopefully, because this business still has the contract to put on the festival, but reading the room, they've stopped running it for next January because it's too soon, and they've got to sort out all of their problems. So it's like the creators going, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, and the local government and the powers that be, the stakeholders that be, plus the company that runs the festival, have to sort their shit out for 2027, which will be, I think the outcome will be far more creator friendly, and things will change for the better in the next 12 months. But that has affected this next festival, which is the 53rd or something iteration of the festival. So they've taken a year off sorting out their shit and listening to the creators who are saying you can't have a festival without creators. So there's female and male creators, there's publishers, there's all kinds of distributors, all giving a boycott or participating in a boycott on the festival and the organisers. Yeah.
So I knew a little bit about this, but you sent a good television report, English language, but French news television report about it, and it's like it's a big deal. The town of Angoulême, it quadruples in size during the festival, as in the population quadruples in size. It's a big deal for them. It's going to impact the fact that if you run your restaurant and you're banking on the Angoulême festival takings, it's going to be a big deal. So the fact that it's not happening, which I guess is the reason why, which is one of the things I found interesting in the report. I guess it's one of the reasons why the government is about 50% of the funding of the festival, which is great to know that the government is a supporter of the festival as well. But,
that's right.
And your use of the word girlcott, boycott, girlcott, is not us being facetious. From the report that I watched, that's actually the term that the women used in their initial writing, email to bring up the issues, is that they were going to do a girlcott. And more than one issue of sexual impropriety. It wasn't just that one. It kind of culminated in that one that you were talking about, but other issues by the sounds of it. And it's
ongoing,
problematic. So good on the creators for standing up and saying, well, this is not good enough.
I think
the other thing was that they're asking that the creators, I think especially, are saying more aspects of it need to be free for the public. So I think they're really worried that the company that runs it is just, there was a term that they used in the report about, it's all well and good to be making money, but how much of it is made for the good of the art form and the community, and how much of it is just being made as a profit to that company, who's not really thinking about what it means for the art form or the festival itself. So lots of layers of different issues and things to think about.
2 points just finishing off there. The first one was I was sad to see
really interesting report.
So I'll put a link to that down in the show notes. It's only 6 minutes, but it's a great encapsulation of the whole affair. It is sad on that on the France 24 news service site that down the bottom the title of the article is "Bam Pow, Angoulême has been cancelled." The Bam Pow thing is like
I've got a note to talk about that.
Yeah,
can you believe it? We're in 2025 and that's still the headline. Bam Pow.
And Angoulême is not going that festival is not superheroic. It's not superhero centric at all. So where the English editors got that from is tone deaf for sure. So I was bemused by that. And the other concept I thought of was Why don't we have an Australian stand at Angoulême?
Absolutely.
There should be, if there hasn't already. So
yeah.
that's a thought. Someone else can do that. But
I went to yes, that's somebody else's job to do. We've come up with the idea off
Bruce Mutard, where are you?
But years ago, I went to Hong Kong for a holiday, and I tracked down the what was it? They had a center there for comics, and ever since then I've kind of followed them on Instagram, and I'm on their mailing list just to see what they do, because they do some really interesting things. They've got a really interesting exhibition space, and they bring international people in to exhibit, as well as supporting the local Hong Kong creators, not just Chinese creators, because that's actually pretty separate style and look and feel to the way that they each do comics. You can tell the difference. So it's a really interesting place. I kind of look at that going, that's maybe there's something in that for us to look at. But what they did, I think it was this year's Angoulême, so 2025, early in 2025, they sent over a whole bunch of artists and had a whole area all to themselves, the Hong Kong comic book area. And it was, well, I know this is propaganda, and I mean that in a marketing sense, coming out of the arts people who are running the Hong Kong thing, but it looked like it was a huge success. Like, it was really, well attended, and so I'm looking at that going, that's what we need to do. Actually, I think I sent a link of that to Jacob Mazarin, who runs the ACE exhibition, stuff. And has
that's
done
another obvious choice for someone to get funding and go over there and represent.
I said to him, whoa, let's idea, but you can run with it. I don't mind. So why don't we have an Australian table? Would you come?
I'd make an effort.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Everyone whoever talks about it says it's incredible.
Yeah, I'll have to get my passport out of the luggage trunk and dust it off, see whether it's still valid or not.
Yeah. So
okay.
Cool.
I think that's enough for this week. The only other thing that I'd like to finish off on was our email address, clubdamingo@cyclonecomics.com.au. I was thinking a good idea for that would be if the kiddies want to send in their suggestions or their opinion on what the book or titles of the year might be that have been standout comics, Australian comics, across the year, and we can read some of those out.
Some of them. We'll read out some of them.
Some of them, yeah. It seems towards the end of the year.
We'll editorialize, and the kiddies at home will put up or shut up.
Yeah. Plus, you and I haven't been across everything.
No.
So to get suggestions from the kiddies would be great as to what books of quality there have been released in the last year. And we don't offer awards or anything, but we will, like cherry pick and highlight some good reads. I'm still looking forward. It's very close now to Pop Culture and Two Minute Noodles. That's almost coming out. I checked my letterbox this morning and there was no card in there to go down to the post office, but it's like I can smell it. I can smell those noodles.
One of the few Kickstarters I actually supported this year.
So that'll be high up there on my 2025 hit list. So
you're so prejudiced. Listen to you. You haven't even read it yet, and you're going, it's an award winner.
No, it's not an award winner. It's just on the Gary list. That's all.
Yes, it's a Gary lovable piece of work.
So while I say that's going to be high up on the reading list for 2025, other people should send us in that email address their suggestions and why, and we can track down and have a bit of a read ourselves and have a look and talk about it.
Exactly.
So cool. It's 9th of December, so there's still a couple of shows to go before Chrissy and end of year. So send them in and we'll have a chat about them.
Yeah. No, the thing with the 2 Minute Noodles, Pop Culture and 2 Minute Noodles collection is, like, for me, it'll be the first time that they'll all be in one place at the one time, I think. And I'm pretty sure I've read all of it before, but, decades ago. So it'll be really cool to actually have it all together.
Plus new material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, super cool.
Comic Oz always does a great job with their hardcovers. So it's
Yeah,
gonna,
good
it's gonna
production
look $1 million.
values.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk about one more thing before we go?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have we been on? We've been on for well over an hour already. Is it
Yeah,
time to
we
go?
have. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But go for it.
We'll save it for next week.
Oh,
It was we've been talking about Dean Rankin being on the Portrait Artist of the Year on the ABC. It's all iViewable, so you can binge the whole thing. It's been on iView long enough that if I give you the hint to say yes, watch up to Dean's episode, but you probably should keep on watching to the end of the season as well, even though he gets knocked out in his episode. You probably should keep watching. There's a little bit of a hint there that maybe he's not completely knocked out. But they're looking for people for next year. And of course, Anne-Marie texts me in the middle of the day yesterday going, "Here, apply," and sends me the link. You should apply, blah, blah, blah. It's not, I don't think it's really for me. I don't think I don't think it'll be beneficial for me, even if
I saw that and I was thinking about it for a short period of time, and then I went and laid down until the feeling passed.
That's right. It's one of those suggestions. It's a lay down suggestion.
Moments. Yeah.
And it was funny because I actually had just gone downstairs to talk to Anne-Marie, and Dean Rankin texts me and says, "They're looking for people," and they asked me who should apply. And I thought of you. So I go, "No, I don't think it's for me." But it could be for some of our peers, some of the kids at home.
Yeah, something to seriously consider. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched it, and if you're a digital artist, I reckon somebody doing like an actual digital painting would be a great thing to sit and watch. I'm pretty sure there were digital people.
I think that was an exclusion on the requirements.
Was it really?
I think.
Did you have a look?
I only skimmed Reddit, but no digital art allowed, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think I could be wrong, but anyway,
I know they had a digital artist who was painting on a canvas, so maybe that's where I'm getting mixed up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as it looks like caricature, they probably wouldn't want you either. So I don't think this is for a caricaturist. I think it's a weird grey area that they're looking for from people like you and I, who are cartoonists, who are moving either well beyond caricature, like Dean does, or is kind of like on the more arty side of caricature. Like
I can see them being, now that the first season has been shown on ABC, and then there's this call out, and then Dean's involvement and the cartooning element in there, they'll get flooded with everyone just cartooning. Yeah. So that'll
I'm
be
sure they'll pick some. I'm sure they'll pick at least one who is a cartoonist rather than a fine artist.
Yeah.
Right. So no digital, because I was saying to Annabelle, like, she should go on and do what she does, which is photogrammetry and 3D printing and messing with the information once she's got it, and see what she can make in 4 hours. Like, it'd just be amazing. So I would, if I was running it, I'd wild stuff like that if possible.
And I might be wrong about the digital art, so make sure you do your research and read whether I'm full of shit or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So on that happy note, wave to the kiddies.